All right, welcome in. It's another edition of the Stingers Up Sacramento State Football Podcast. We are joined by the head coach, Brennan Marion, here, week 2. Coach, let's look back first at last week. First look at your squad against the opposing team, against South Dakota State, a really good team. Just your overview of how the game went.
For us, I mean, anytime you don't win the game, it's not a good game. For the standpoint of where our team is at and what we're trying to learn and accomplish throughout this season, I thought it was a good experience for us to go to a hostile environment, a place that, is a traditional powerhouse. To become a champion, you have to play a champion and see exactly what that looks like and feels like. And so I think for us, seeing that environment, seeing a team that is together, had a culture in place, I thought we learned a lot of things of who we are as a team. And gave us valuable lessons moving forward for the season for us to be successful.
One of the things we said during the broadcast, it felt like the game was played a lot on their terms. I mean, they had the ball a ton. They wanted to run. They were able to do that for the most part. How did you see that, and how were they able to just kind of really grab a hold of that game?
Yeah, the thing was, I think they were throwing a lot of haymakers at us, and they never really could knock us out. I mean, you think about it all the way up until 3 minutes left in the game. We really had a chance to win the game. Like, it was still a winnable game. It was still, the game was never out of balance where you felt like, oh man, this team just blew us out. I know people pretend like we got blown out, but from that standpoint, I thought our guys fought all the way up until the end. There was no quitting our guys. There was no pouting. There was no complaining. I just thought that, hats off to South Dakota State. They just never let us get, in rhythm in that game. I mean, it would be like, okay, we get a big play, then we, back and forth like that. So, and then they get a big play and then we stop them. Our defense did a good job of letting them, they got down to the red zone several times and our defense stopped them from scoring. So we have to do a better job, getting, from a defensive perspective, getting 3 and outs. And then on offense, we have to do a better job of running the football and staying on the field.
Yeah. So how do you get that offense going? Obviously you want to run, you want to run. Credit to South Dakota State, really good defense. But how do you find that rhythm for your offense?
Yeah, I think we were able to we're going to be fine when it comes to our run game. I think anytime you play game 1, teams adjust and do something a little differently than they showed on film. But for our guys, I mean, it's just like you got to be okay with just fighting. I mean, that's what we learned in that game. I mean, there has to be physicality and violence up front. It can't be, those guys are out there to embarrass us and kill us out there. I mean, that's football, unfortunately, for people who aren't accustomed to that. When you go play the Dakotas, the Montanas, being in the, Big 12, SEC, Mountain West, when you're in the trenches, I mean, it's a violent game. And so I think our guys understand that up front now on both sides of the ball, that there needs to be violent disengage and violent contact there. And I think, they'll respond the right way and we'll be able to do what we need to do in the trenches.
Yeah. As far as your offense too, we talked about you feel comfortable, you'll get the run game going. How do you get your passing game going? How do you get more out of Jaden Rashada?
Yeah, I know everybody wants to blame the quarterback, but the quarterback showed a great deal of toughness in that game. There was probably 3 to 4 plays where if the guy catches the ball or the guy runs underneath the ball, a receiver has to do their job as well. The O-line has to do their job in protection. It's not all on him. I mean, credit to the kid for being tough enough to feel like everything is on him, but that game is definitely was not won or lost by him. From the standpoint of, I thought he stayed in the pocket, and delivered the ball. And sometimes where they were bringing blitzes, and really getting after him, he still kept standing there, throwing the ball, giving our guys a chance to make plays. We have to come down with those plays. If we make 2 or 3 of those plays, it's an absolute different game, So guys have to come down with the football. They have to sprint through the football, not, be caught in the lights. They have to go make plays, and then we have to protect up front to help, him have better days up there as a quarterback. The more confident he can get standing in there, which he showed, if you really watched the game, he showed that he would stand in there and he would take a hit. I mean, he got hit hard a lot.
Yeah.
And he kept getting back up with a smile on his face and blood on him and just kept going. So I think he earned a lot of respect from the guys and his teammates for showing the toughness that he had.
The stat that I love to say during the broadcast, South Dakota State gave up 8 sacks all last year. You guys got 7. last week. And I know you still want more from your defense. What did you like about that part of how, I mean, not only the 7 sacks, but you also had a lot of hurries and pressures on the quarterback too.
Yeah, it's glad that you mentioned the hurries and pressures because that was a very dynamic quarterback. I mean, that's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, not just FCS, but in FBS and all of football. I thought Chase Mason was a dynamic quarterback that they had. We missed probably 3 to 4 sacks in that game where we had him in the backfield. Yeah. He shook a guy, made a guy miss and extended the play and made something happen. And so our guys, that's really encouraging. You know, like we said, we just want to be more violent in the run game. We have to earn the right to rush the passer. If we want to force teams to pass the ball, and if we can force them to do that, you saw, you know, that's a top tier O-line that we went against. I mean, they got 2 guys that'll definitely play in the National Football League on their offensive line. And so we were able to affect the quarterback and you know, our defensive coordinator, our defensive players tell you we didn't affect them enough because they scored, right? So we're mad that we let them score anything, you know. So from that standpoint, we'll continue to get better. Coach Ed has done a really good job with those guys up front, and they'll continue to get better as they develop throughout the year and learn how to play together.
So the way it works, I mean, that's gone. You move on to the next, Nevada, another tough opportunity or opponent, I should say. How's the week of practice been in preparing for the Wolfpack?
Yeah, I think our guys have been really focused all week. The energy's been great from the standpoint of like, guys understand the type of, you know, everything that we were telling them they needed to do and how you do it and how you go about your process. Now they've kind of taken that on their own because they went into a game and they realized like, man, these guys weren't lying to us. We do have a chance to win. We do have a chance to be special. We aren't tired in this game. We did train the right way. And so now I think everything, they got kind of that affirmation that they needed to know, okay, because, you know, anytime you bring in 70 new guys and a lot of them come from either, you know, transferring because they were a really good player or transferring because they had broken dreams at the school that they were at. They thought that they would, you know, make it happen there and they did it. And now they're here and they're, you know, they have some trust issues. So it's learning from, okay, man, this guy's really giving me the right direction, the right coaching. The staff has put me in a position to be successful, and I need to listen to everything they say when it comes to the process. So this week we did a really good job from that standpoint with the player-led leadership on making sure we do the right things for our game process to be what we want it to be on Saturday.
Yeah, and that leadership's all new here. That's probably a challenge for you. That's not like 3 or 4 year seniors. You have a few, but not that have been in this program, and at least with you for very long.
Yeah, so if you look at South Dakota State last week, they had transfers as well, but none of their transfers really played. Mm-hmm. It was all the guys that were there the year prior that played, that had gel, that, you know, they had chemistry, they had played together. Our guys have no, like, you know, obviously, you know, the team didn't do well here last season, right? So the guys that even came back that were here, right, they haven't won. You know, they experienced other guys winning, you know, in the past, but they have not been the guy who had to be the starter and had to make the play and, you know, those things. And so all of our guys coming together and gelling together and building that chemistry. I always say brothers are born in adversity. Adversity causes some men to break and others to break records. I've been in a lot of championship games as a coach, as a player on teams that lost 1 or 2 games, you know, like our season's not over. It's just 1 or 2 games. So I was proud of the guys about the response this week. And I think that we'll play the game the way that we know how to play it now.
Mm-hmm. How about Nevada? Then challenges that they present. Obviously, Purdy's a quarterback that can run too, much like Mason. When you look at them, what are some of the challenges that face you guys?
Yeah, so on the defensive side, I think they have talent at all 3 levels. I think on the first level, their edge guys are really where their strength is. 32 and 9, they do a really good job of affecting the quarterback, and they're physical. You know, and 9 looks like an NFL pass rusher, a real guy. You know, I think their linebacker room does a good job of, if you run right at them, they can hit you in the mouth, and they're physical. And then in the back end, you know, they have Mervin Kenyon, who was here before I got here, but he made some plays at the safety position. He's physical. He comes downhill. He was the leading tackler last week in the game. And then, you know, on the corner, they have a guy, number 1, that we played in the past at UTEP, was a really good cover corner, can play man. And then on the offensive side of the ball, I recruited Purdy when I was at the University of Pitt. Great family, good kid. You know, obviously his brothers had a lot of success. I think he's kind of finding his stride now. Last year, I would say he was just a running quarterback. This year, he's more of a dual threat. He can throw the ball and hurt you with his arm as well. I think they have 2 legit receivers that can make you miss if they get in space. They're smaller in stature, but they're tough guys, that, have some twitch to them. And then in the running back room, they have a couple home run threats. They have the guys that can take it to the house. I coached Kai when he was at number 25, when he was at Texas. And then number 2, Herschel Turner. He's a track kid from here in the Bay Area that can run. And then O-line, they have, some big guys up front that can move people. And then, obviously their coaching staff has been a lot of places, seen a lot of things, and will have a great game plan for those guys.
Is it tough to evaluate them? I mean, they played at Happy Valley, number 2, and at times they were hanging in that game and it kind of a little bit out of hand. How much from that game are you judging what you expect this week?
Yeah, I mean, being at that level before and playing a team that's, I guess under you or whatever, you kind of look at it from that perspective. I mean, Penn State wasn't really trying to kill those guys. They were more so trying to put a lot of things on film for other teams to game plan for. So you were able to see some of the Nevada guys' skill set in that game because Penn State was really kind of like toying with them. They weren't trying to just like destroy them like it was like the Big Ten championship game on the line.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell that they were shifting, doing all types of gadget plays, motion shifts, just trying to put stuff on film for other teams to prepare for throughout the year. And so we were able to see a lot of the guys from Reno's skill set there. We know most of the guys from, now recruiting and, seeing these guys like, some of these guys were FCS guys that came up to them and FBS guys that our coaching staff had coached or been a part of or recruited in the past. So we know a lot of what their guys are like. We're familiar with them. Obviously, I played them the last 2 seasons at UNLV, and we kept the cannon red. And so we kind of know we have a good understanding of their team.
Yeah. All right. Last one for you then. What are the things, week 1 to week 2, there's a lot of changes, and what would you like to see kind of besides a win, the kind of improvement from the Hornets most?
Yeah. Our violence needs to increase. We can't talk about it. We have to be about it. And then next it has to be about scoring points and keeping the other team from scoring.
Yeah.
I mean, period.
Yeah.
It has to be about scoring points. In my career, I've never averaged under 30 points. So I don't know what it feels like to not score a touchdown.
Yeah. Last week was odd.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I never in my mind did I think that we would not score in that game.
Yeah.
When we dropped the touchdown, we missed a big play. I'm like, man, I don't know what's going. Like,
I know, and I think the 18 minutes of possession was like the lowest in years. So I imagine that number will change too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we heard from the coach. Now look who we tracked down. Defensive lineman Xavier Williams, senior. Are you like a 10th year senior by now, Xavier? You've been here a long time.
Yeah, 6-year senior now. So I've been here a while, through the ups and downs.
Yeah, but a lot of ups.
Yep.
I mean, so take us through your journey. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Your brother was here, but why did you pick Sacramento State?
I came here. This was my only option, actually. This was my only offer, only school that wanted to give me a full-ride scholarship. So that's the reason I came here. And my brother being here was just a plus. And so I thank him for being here because he kind of the reason I think they gave me the offer. Got here in COVID, didn't have a season. That was 2020. And then 21, I was injured, double knee surgery. Believe we won a championship that year. I wasn't a part of it, but I still got a ring. So, I'm happy for it. Then 2022, I played. We got another ring. And that was my last year with my brother. So he moved on did his own thing. And then 23, I played. Wasn't as great as the season, had a little coaching change there. 24, I was injured, ruptured my pec. So that was another year I sat out. And then now we're this year. So
man, that commitment though, I mean, there's so much work you guys put in, and you not only putting in the work to get ready for a season, but also to recover.
Yeah.
How much do you love football?
I love it a lot. I mean, I've been doing it since I was a kid, and it's kind of been instilled in me since I was young that not that that's what I'm going to do, but just that was like the main option. As I got bigger, I wasn't a basketball kid. I grew sideways and not really as tall as I wanted. So it was kind of like, I'm going to do it. And then I seen how successful my brother was with it. And I just really dove in and took everything that he taught me and kind of just put it to my own game. And we're different positions, but somewhat of the same. Receivers are almost the same as defensive linemen and the movements and everything. So just having him there kind of really helped me love football even more. And even with the injuries, he was there for me every step of the way.
So Atwater, was it Atwater High?
Yes, sir.
You were a Falcon?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So which coach got you here? I mean, obviously you said your brother was here, but who was the one that that was recruiting you back in 2020?
Craig Paulson and Coach Jeremy LePan. I originally was supposed to be a tight end coming here. So I was a little slimmer back then. I was running routes and catching footballs and all that. And then so I was getting recruited by Jeremy LePan. And then when I got here, it was kind of like a switch where I got a little bigger. And, they say freshman 15. I for sure gained the freshman 15 quick. So I moved to the defensive side and then just played nose tackle and 3-tech with Coach Paulson. And that was kind of all I thought that I would be, is just 3-tech and all that. And then I lost weight recently. So it was kind of like, all right, we're going to move him outside. And so now I kind of play a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of guys in football now playing two sides. You talk to the offensive staff, getting you some tight end reps at all?
Yeah, we've joked about it here and there. I know when Coach Taylor was here, I had 2 plays on offense as a tight end, and I missed my block on one of them. So that's kind of why I got taken off. But we've talked about it here with this staff about getting me on that side of the ball. But, it's just we're waiting on the right time to maybe do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen a lot. You saw ups and downs. Really, you've been at the peak of the Hornets' success, because there were a lot of lean years, and you saw this team win 3 straight Big Sky championships. But there has been coaching changes. Now you have your 3rd head coach.
Yep.
How about that? Just transition, different styles from Taylor to Thompson to now Marion. How's that whole journey been?
It's been really interesting coming in with Coach Taylor. Heavy on football, and you're here, you're football. Like, we care about winning, and then a coaching change. Not saying Coach Thompson didn't care about football, but he cared more, about your person and how you were doing and your well-being. And so it was a lot more laid back in the building. You could talk to Coach Thompson a lot, go to his office, and if you had anything wrong. And then it was just kind of not a soft culture, but more of a calm culture. And then you go to now's coaching staff, you walk in the building every morning at 6 a.m., you got music pumping through the building. Coaches screaming. We got our special teams coordinator first thing in the morning clapping and screaming. So for sure a difference. And you could tell, like, this is, our coaching staff loves football. They come in every single day, same energy. There's no two-faced people that are, one day they love it, one day they're on the bottom end of it or sad or whatever, but every day they're here coming to work. So just kind of getting the whole experience of every type of coach that you could have. And I love it. Yeah.
The first day I came out to watch you guys in the spring, I went, how many coaches are on? I mean, how long did it take you to get all the coaches? There's so many people on the staff now.
Yeah, I still really don't know everyone's positions. Like, I know how many coaches we have. I see it now, but it's like I don't know everyone's positions or what they do exactly. I just know, hey, they're another coach. They're another staff member. So it's really interesting. We went from just really position coaches and minimal GAs to now you got a GA for everything: special teams, offense, defense, a GA for meals. So it's it's crazy how much we can have.
Yeah. As far as being here this long and being kind of one of the voices of the defense, do you feel like, as a captain, like, just that sense of responsibility, what does that mean to you to be one of the voices of the team and of the defense?
Yeah. I mean, I think I put in all the work and I've waited this long for it. I love it. I mean, just kind of have been waiting this long and being behind people all the time. I've always been the 2 or rotating with the 2s or the 3s even, and playing scout team and stuff. And now it's like, I finally get my chance to shine and be kind of the leader. And so I make sure I put in the work first. And so that way everyone can see, like, I'm not just the one out there talking and just saying things. Like, they see I'm actually doing the work and I'm doing extra. So hopefully, they jump on my back and, hey, we can do this. Like, I'm doing it. I've done it for 6 years. Like, I know what it takes to win. And so hopefully other people see that and they kind of come along.
Yeah. So the season's just beginning. You guys had the first game, but I was amazed before the season started that you guys opened up in the top 25 based on 3 wins from a year ago. But I see the recruiting class. I see the transfers. You're there. You're in it. Is the talent level, does it feel different of what the roster is maybe from other years?
Yeah. You can for sure see, like, we have guys that, like, we have a guy, Ajay Hall. I've never seen someone as freakishly, like, athletic as him. Hands are huge, like, just the way he runs and everything. Like, I haven't seen that here before. And so then just that's only one guy. And so we have a whole bunch of them. And it's like, that's really crazy that we're an FCS squad with this amount of talent. And it's like, now it's just, we have to mesh together and put it together. Like, we're together as a team, but on the field, when it comes to the field play, we still got to get some things, ironed out. And I mean, that's normal. A lot of teams, you get 70 new players. You're going to have some, things wrong in there. But it's kind of just crazy to see, like, how we're all able to, build this one team and how we did it in such a short amount of time. And now, I mean, we're already in season. I remember when all the reports were coming out, Coach Marion just became head coach, and it's like all of a sudden, like we're on our second game now. So, yeah.
As far as the attention the school has received now, that's, I mean, to me, it's exciting, but you're living in it. And whether it's potential stadium down the line, potential FBS, there's a lot of outside noise. What's that like internally when you guys are hearing those things?
Yeah, I try not to focus too much on it, like about all the FC or FBS stuff and the new stadium. I don't know if I'm going to be here for it, for one. So it's like I do have another year, but I'm old. We never know. But it's definitely interesting. Went from kind of the school being not really known, and then when Coach Taylor got here and we started winning, you started hearing a little bit. And then the last couple of years, it was kind of we dropped back down. You stopped hearing about it, and then now it's like everyone, like I'm seeing on Twitter, like people just posting this, Sac State, they're doing this, they're doing that. You know, they're playing these people this week, or they should be an FBS squad. So it's really interesting just seeing the difference, especially from back then and then to now. And now it's like, new stadiums coming, locker room refurbished, like all this, like even this building, like we never would have thought that we would have this space. So it's like just seeing the come up has kind of been really something that I'm blessed to be a part of.
Yeah.
No matter how many coaches I had, this is kind of what we expect to being a college athlete. I think we deserve all the attention we're getting, how much work we put in.
Well, you guys are getting a lot of attention. What was it like when you were early on in your career here playing with your brother, who was one of the most decorated Hornets and still playing professionally, and just that experience to be playing as a teammate with your brother, Pierre?
Yeah, I mean, that was a great experience. Not many people get to experience that. So it's kind of something that I think I took for granted in the moment. But now looking back, I'm just like, wow, like I really got to play with my own brother. Like, I didn't get to play on the same field. Like I was defense, he was offense, but just watching him on the field, and then it's like, okay, he scored. Now I get to go on defense and just kind of see what I can do and try to match his performance. So just kind of seeing what he was able to do. And then after the games, we'd go home, watch film together, and he would kind of tell me what I could do better. And there was a lot of things for me that I could do better, and then just me kind of watching him, and there wasn't really much I could tell him, but it's like I would just watch and be like, wow, like we're really on the same team. And now we're at home talking about the game, and we're going to sleep in rooms and then come back tomorrow and then drive to the facility together. So it's like not many people could say that they could do that. So yeah, it's a blessing, really.
As far as your journey, you said you do have another year of eligibility?
I do. I have another medical red shirt.
Okay, well, that's good. So you don't have to decide that today, but what goes into that decision? The way this year goes, your health, your future, like how are you going to break that down?
Definitely health. Just thinking about my health first. And I love football. I mean, I never thought I'd be here 6 years. So it's kind of just something I'd have to think about, just how I'm doing mentally, physically, and then kind of just how the season goes. I mean, I'm expecting big things from the season, but if, by all means, God willing, maybe something happens. Maybe I don't do as well as I projected, then I'll maybe take the extra year and be a seventh year, and be the old head again and come back and try to dominate again. So.
Do you have plans for more football after this?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I don't think I'm going through all these injuries and still coming back if there wasn't after college. So I definitely would love a chance to get to play anywhere. I mean, I'm not just an NFL guy. Indoor Mexico League if I got to with my brother again, or just anything CFL. So I'm not too big for any program. If anyone, out there professionally wants me, I'll go for some money.
So you're on the defensive side, your brother's on the offensive side. If you were opposing teammates, I don't know, he's on a jet sweep and he's running towards you. I mean, it's football. You got to hit him, right?
Yep, for sure. I always told him if I was going against him, I'd hit him harder than I'd hit anyone else. He kind of laughs and always tells me I wouldn't be able to catch him. But I think, new body X, not 310 me, because I used to be 310 when I played with my brother. Now, me, 240, I think I for sure catch him.
Do you feel better? I mean, literally feel better playing at this weight?
Yeah, most definitely. Back then, I'd play 2 snaps and I'd be drenched, dead, hands on my, on my knees, just tired. And now it's like I'm able to go and keep running and run to the ball. Actually, now, like we preach that, run to the ball. We're on 11 hats to the football. So especially being this light now, and I'm able to run everywhere and not be as tired. So I hope to stay this weight, maybe drop a little LBs too, at the next level. If they want to play middle backer, I'll drop some pounds too,
Last week, your assessment of the first game, I was saying earlier to Coach that, look, South Dakota State gave up 8 sacks in 15 games. You guys got 7. You got one of them, and maybe even 1.5. I'm not sure, but there was one. I remember calling on the radio. You were literally being held, and you still got a 1-arm sack. But assessment of your performance and the team's performance.
My performance, I mean, there's always room to get better. I mean, I gave up a jet sweep that went for 30-something yards, so I could do a lot better on that. They had just told me about that play too, just right before I went on the field, be aware of it. And me try to be greedy and go make a play on the other side of the field, it went on the opposite side. So not a great performance by me. Could for sure do a lot better. I know stats show I had 1.5 sacks and whatever else I did, but could for sure do better. But as a whole, we could have, held them to 3 points or whatever it may have been rather than giving up the 20. We did well as a defense, but we still gave up the 240 yards rushing and however many yards passing we gave up. So always things that we could fix. People are going to say we played good and offense played bad, but I mean, a team can't win a game if they don't score. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, and that's on us, we didn't have to give up any points. So we've got to be better as a whole. But just for our first outing playing as a unit, I think we did well. And we kind of watch film and we know the little things. There's a couple plays here and there that we gave up explosive plays, and you just can't have that when you're trying to be a great defense. So we're going to for sure fix those and come back this week and hope to, come out with a win.
Yeah, I know technically playing up, but I looked at South Dakota State. I mean, you're playing in it. Those guys are big. That's a good football team.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I was impressed by them.
Yeah, walked out in the warm-ups and I looked, I said, ooh, that's size right there. They're not from out California.
Right.
You only get those from South Dakota. So
yeah. But it felt like some plays, though, like this has been kind of my past of watching you guys when the Big Sky or the Hornets play a Missouri Valley Football Conference. It's like, man, there's some big boys up front. But then sometimes your speed and athleticism would win out on plays. Did that feel like that's kind of how it played out?
Yeah, for sure. Kind of coming into the game, we were told that this would be like one of the better O-lines we'd see. And so we kind of knew, don't run into the guy. They're going to be a lot bigger, a lot stronger. So, and we have a lot smaller guys that are faster and have the quick twitch. So kind of use that to our advantage. And then when they didn't expect it, we kind of knew, thanks to Coach O'Mary in the weight room, that we had a little bit. So we would kind of use that on some plays and we kind of get it. That's how I think we had 7 sacks, just kind of surprising them with our strength that we did have, but then also still using speed in other areas. So that for sure helped, just being a little smaller and quicker than them, because going into the game, we expected their feet not to be as quick and their change of direction may not have been quick, but if they got their hands on you, might have been done for you. So, yeah.
How about in the past, like I'd say playing up at FBS, playing Nevada, you've had other games, Fresno and San Jose last year and other teams in the past. Is there extra on that for you or just another game?
It is, because I always go into games thinking like, okay, these schools didn't recruit me. And I kind of always carry that chip on my shoulder, like, you didn't want me out of high school, or whatever it may be. That's just me. Yeah. My mindset. I always think these certain schools didn't want me. Like, you didn't even come look at me. So now I want to terrorize you. Like, I want to torch your whole offense. But it's kind of every single game I kind of come out with the same mindset. I mean, this was the only school that offered me. So really every school I go to, I'm like, okay, your coach didn't want me. Your coach didn't want me. And so I kind of just look at that every game and kind of carry that chip on my shoulder and kind of just, I feel like I've been overlooked. So I try to just show and put my name on the map.
Yeah. Do you have individual goals for you for this season?
I do. I've talked about it a lot with my brother, and we've kind of set a number for me that I should be at if I want to get to the next level.
Okay.
Not going to speak on that.
Okay, that's fine.
But I kind of just want our whole defense to succeed, and I want to hold teams under 14 points every game. I mean, they don't really need to score at all, so it would be perfect if we got 0, shutouts. But things happen. Defenses mess up. But as a whole, I just want to go undefeated. Now, from here on, we'll take the one loss as a lesson. We're not going to take that and drop our heads. We're going to take that as a lesson. We're going to learn, and then come kind of from here on, just kind of build up each single game.
So for fans or media, us as well, we're going to see stats, tackles, sacks, that kind of thing. But could you have like a great game and impact the game, and maybe not as a defensive lineman? Sometimes you did so much havoc that you set other people up or other things that you go like, that was one of my best games, even if I didn't get a lot of stats.
Yeah, it's not going to show on the stat sheet. We talk about it all the time. Like, you doing your job, it won't show up on the stat sheet, but you doing what you did allowed someone else to make the play. So, yeah, we all want to see the stats, the sacks, and the tackles for loss, but you just being in your gap or at least trying to make a play and maybe forcing the ball to bounce out somewhere else to the safety. As long as somebody is there to make the play and you did your job, we're okay with that. Just playing fundamental defense and trying to fly to the ball.
Do you dream of like the blindside hit, sack, scoop, score, fumble, recovery, touch? Like, is that like the dream play for you?
Yeah, I for sure want to get my hands on the ball because I just want to show people I can run. Everyone says, "Oh, you should be tight end next. You should be a tight end," and I just want to show them like, "Hey, I'll get the ball and just take off." And so once I get the opportunity, it'll be a show. I'm not going down easy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you better not let anybody catch you because if this happens and you want it, they can't catch you.
Yeah, for sure. I think I've been working on my speed a little bit. I've hit the 20-mile-an-hour mark. So
nice.
I'm one of the only linemen to do that. So hopefully, hopefully the skill players are a little tired on the play and I get the ball and just hopefully I'm like 10 yards away to the end zone and I score. Yeah, that's the dream play right there.
Well, it's been fun to watch you develop and grow and be a Hornet really for life here. And I wish you nothing but success this season and whatever's next, whether it's more with the Hornets or after that. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. That's Xavier Williams. They're getting ready to take on Nevada this week. And that's another edition of the Stingers Up Sacramento State Football Podcast.